Hey, Kevin Coy from Kevin's Micro House Project, and this is episode 1. And I know you're probably going, episode 1, we just did episode 20. Well, we're doing episode 1 of a different project. So we're going to be running 2 projects for your viewing enjoyment. This is my son-in-law, Steven, and we're going to do a bus build. And if you come over here, here it is. What is this, a 19 what?
It's a 1980 GMC H8H 649. They're 40 foot, big ol' Greyhound buses.
So this is a decommissioned charter bus, Greyhound bus, and my son-in-law and daughter, who's behind the camera, are going to make this into an RV. And so we thought we'd give you a little tour so you can kind of see what's going on, and then we'll be doing a project update as we go through this project as well. So you got not 1 but 2 projects to follow, the micro homestead and the bus project, and we'll come up with a name for the bus project, but we just got it here. And this thing originated out of a little town in south central Oregon, sort of off of Eugene out there where he found it. And so we had a big adventure to go down and find this bus, and then we got it stuck in the mud, and then we got stuck. Then we got stuck because there was a fuel tanker spill and we couldn't get out on the highway, and so we had quite the road trip.
The arduous pass.
Backtracking around over a snowy pass and all this fun stuff, and that was your virgin or maiden voyage, I guess, with the bus. So would you get about 500 miles in that day?
Yeah, about 500 miles and a whole lot of fuel.
So he learned how to drive the bus by 35 miles out of town. He was on a 5,200 foot mountain pass going through the snow to get the heck out of Dodge before we lost another day trying to get home.
It broke me in fast though, and it definitely handles like a champ though.
Yeah, this is a pretty smooth ride with you got an old
air ride suspension.
So let's take a walk around the side here so you can kind of get a little bit of the magnitude and scope of this thing. It's a big critter. So how big is the fuel tank?
Yeah, up here we got a 165 gallon fuel tank.
And that was the former air conditioning compartment?
Yeah.
For when it was
a big old AC compressor used to
Greyhound bus, so now we've got an empty compartment we can utilize to do something else. And then we just finished up putting a new seal and system back on this, getting it adjusted. So now we can, as you can see, this is a cavernous amount of space I'm actually sitting up in here. It passes all the way through to the other side of the bus. This could be a spare bedroom if you really, wanted to, or throw the kids in here or whatever. It's pretty big. So
it's 8 foot by 6 foot by 3 foot 6.
So you got 2, 3.
And they go all the way through the bus.
So you talk about having a basement in your RV. This is a pretty big basement in here, and so he's got the guy that he bought it from actually was going to do the conversion, and then one thing led to another, and they gave up on the project and put it up for sale. So he got a really nice price for the bus, plus he got all the components that they had already purchased and had started putting in here to convert the bus, and so he's kind of got a little bit of a head start, but he wound up, we'll go inside and you'll see where we're at on the inside. So, go ahead.
In here we just got extra glass for the windows up top, and a house air conditioning unit that he had set up in here running 220. Back here we got our gray water tank, and on the far side our black water and propane, which we'll see in a second. Well, all that just came with the bus.
So we got a set of dual rear axle here. This is the radiator. It's a humongous radiator.
And it actually used to be a triple axle, but they removed the tag axle to be able to install this 3rd storage compartment. So it gives it a smoother ride because it's no longer a charter bus. You don't need to be able to handle as much weight as you did before, and you have a lot more storage. Right here,
the power plant.
It's the beast. It's a Detroit diesel. It's a 2-stroke diesel, 8V71. They're known as a 318. They're about 318 horsepower, but about 900 foot-pounds of torque. She'll cruise at about 65, 67, no problem on like the freeways. Climbing hills, she does about 45, 50 up on the passes. But she doesn't slow down once she hits that. She just keeps trucking. It's already been converted back here from the original 4-speed Spicer transmission And this has a Allison V730 3-speed. It affects fuel mileage a little bit, but the ease of driving is way outweighs it. Right here, like I said before, the Blackwater propane. This is a 42-gallon propane tank. It's huge.
That'll get you around for a while.
The guy before had a old wood stove, a little tiny wood stove.
We're wood fired here.
Yep, we're looking at cleaning that thing up and seeing if we can put that in here too.
So lots of projects inside the project. You got a set of freshwater tanks all set up there, ready to go.
64 gallons of fresh water. And this is just extra random stuff from inside the bus. Parts that we have to go through and decide what to keep and what to toss. 24-volt system right here with these two big D8 batteries. These things are monsters.
Yeah, they must weigh 100 pounds apiece, I'm
yeah.
guessing. That's a pretty cool setup. This is the air system for the bus, and talk a little bit about what you can do with that.
Yeah, behind it there's an air compressor, and this is the tank. But the previous owner put a splitter in right here to where, using these air hoses, you can fill your tires, you can run power tools. You know, it's not a huge tank, but it's enough to get you out of a bind if you're on the road.
And then it also does the suspension.
Yeah, your air ride suspension, which you're able to lock in place and hold it up.
Let's take a look inside. Come on in. So we got the pilot seat right here with all the cool controls and lights and doohickeys and fun stuff.
And this bus has a Jake brake on it, which makes a huge difference when driving on the highway and down hills.
And of course, you got the shifter. Got to have one of those Bud Light deals.
They probably came
light
with
beer
the
or
bus.
whatever that is. So you got how much? What's your dimension in here, Stephen?
We have a 6'4" or 76-inch headroom. I'm 6'2", so I'm not hitting.
Yeah.
On the sides I do, but you know.
I guess I hit the speaker.
Yep.
I can clear in the center there.
We have 38.5 feet of usable space from behind the driver to the back of the bus. It's a 40-foot bus, like I was saying. And the guy had a range in here, a full stove and everything, out of a house that he was converting from natural gas to LP.
So you already converted and put in, you got a little RV type. This is an RV heater, which you would normally see in a motorhome or a fifth wheel or whatever. That's what they look like when they're not all boxed up inside the hidden compartments and everything. But it's gas powered, propane powered, and then takes 12 volt to run the electrical side, which is the squirrel cage fan to blow the air. And it puts out a lot of...
It's a 4,900 BTU.
Yeah, so it's adequate for the space. And then you got a hot water tank, and again, this is the back side of what you normally see, just the face cover on the side of an RV, but that's what they look like when they're not blocked inside of a cabinet. And then you got the roughed-in plumbing here that you're going to use for...
And we're going to tear out a lot of this stuff and relocate as to our specific needs. But like the toilet right now is about a foot off from the actual black water tank, so don't really know what they were thinking there. But the bedroom here,
I think they were thinking stuff rolls downhill. I think that's how that worked.
the bedroom here, we're going to end up tearing all this out. They had it's an interesting design, but it's not very efficient. You know, you can't really use. It's not very usable space. So we're just going to tear it out and redo it ourselves. One of the cool things that we want to do with the bedroom is we're going to install a Murphy bed. You know, we'll have a queen-size bed in here that will flip up into the wall, and so during the daytime our bedroom will turn into our office. And then at night it flips back down.
So you got multi-use space. Well, there you have it. This is the beginnings of another adventure here that we're going to start doing episodes on, and this is our #1 episode. So just to give you a kind of a scale for what it is that's what we're starting with here, and a little bit of an idea of what we're going to do. And so we'll keep you in tune here and apprised of what we do as we go. We got a lot of stuff to do right now. We're just kind of doing demolition right now and just fixing some things to kind of get ready for the project. And I think you guys have kind of lined up what you're going to do in here as far as a floor plan, so they just need to kind of get down to where they can turn around and start building back up again. So should be a lot of fun. We're going to do a lot of things that I think will be very useful for you guys. You know, I just want to say thanks to all the readers, or not the readers, but the viewers, if you will. We have several thousand viewers in over 40 countries now, which is really awesome that it's grown to be this big of a project. And so I thought this would be fun to add to the project so we can give you a little bit more fun stuff to tune into. So we got 2 projects going at once, and we'll get something going here, and we'll get another episode up as soon as we can so that you can kind of see how things progress. And until then, we'll see you soon.